Good afternoon. We thought we'd do another 5 to 10 minute takeaway, and I wanted to cover maintenance and primarily the carbon monoxide on our maintenance calls. When you call my company out to do maintenance, we're during the fall and during the winter, we're largely there for safety. It's my primary concern. And this time of year, we check hundreds of them. Uh, and we typically find somewhere around 1% with a carbon monoxide issue. So first, I recommend that you get a digital carbon monoxide with a readout on it, and we want to be checking and seeing if you're getting any numbers. Now, if you get one or two on it, it comes and then it goes away, and then it comes and it goes away every once in a while, that's probably nothing to be concerned about. That's trace in the air. But if you get one of these and they're consistently holding one or two, you might go get another tester, or you might call someone with professional equipment and sensitive tools such as us to come out and do check and see what we find and see if we can actually isolate where you're getting this and verify it's not coming from the garage or from open windows or doors, and make sure there's not really a problem. I went to Gemini and Google where at what levels you start getting poisoned from carbon monoxide, and it's very low. It's actually down 10 parts per million, and it doesn't take much to get that. But these carbon monoxide detectors only go off at about 70 to 80 parts per million. It's way higher. So you could actually be getting a lot of symptoms and being sick and a compromised immune system and a lot of things way before you actually have to worry about death. These are really designed in whole so that you don't go to sleep and a large presence of carbon monoxide comes and you don't ever wake up. That's what those are. I'm looking more towards, I don't want you getting sick and getting prolonged exposures. I personally don't know anyone that has passed away from carbon monoxide. I'm sure it's happened, but I do know a lot of people and have actually met people that have gotten sick from carbon monoxide. And that's more what I worry about than anything. So more than 9 parts per million, and getting a digital readout will help you monitor. The next thing is these are required by law if you have gas-fired appliances, and you can. They need to go before the bedrooms and in the hallway or the entryway before bedrooms. If they're all right there stacked together, one suffices. If your rooms are on opposite ends, you'll need one on each end. If you have an upstairs, you'll need an additional one on the upstairs bedroom. If you're in Junction City now, I'm going to verify, but I believe they've adopted code that we're having to put one on every single level of a house, regardless of bedrooms. And I've heard rumors that there's some jurisdictions that are, again, it's not in code, but they're requiring them in furnished rooms too. Now, smoke detectors are a little different. It's pretty common to have those in every room, in every bedroom, every main room, and then also in the furnace room in every level of the house. You put more of those in than you do carbon monoxide detectors. But it's very critical when we come out that we do this correctly because of what it can do. A flue pipe is allowed in our jurisdiction to be exhausting in residential or rooftop at up to 80 parts per million after 15 minutes of runtime. That's Gray Wolf and Lawrence's standard. The Kansas Gas Service, I believe, and our other local areas are all going to be right around 100. We're adopting the more strict, and if we find 80 or more, we're going to, again, turn the system off. But the most important test we do, and the most sensitive is inside the home, and it's checking the registers. We buy extremely expensive pieces of equipment because we want industry standard equipment. We've been to factory trainings. I've been to Testo's training, and these reps come in and these major corporations and put these on for all of us. Doesn't matter the size of the company. We get trained by these big corporations and industry standards so that we're doing this right, because it's a serious deal. And some of the companies, a lot of the big companies, make the techs provide their own. We don't do that. We actually provide everyone with a very high quality. I believe I bought 4 of these at the time when we bought them. We're using Testo 310s. They meet the industry standard. They're combustion analyzers, so we can do more than just carbon monoxide. But we're just talking about carbon monoxide today. But we'll go to your system, make sure it's running, and we will stick the probe down inside your grills, and then we'll check our combustion analyzer and verify the carbon monoxide. And after 15 minutes, if it's reading 0, we're good. If it's consistently reading 1 or 2, we got a problem. We're going to run it for another 15 minutes. And after we run it for 15 minutes, an additional 15, that gives it time. If there happens to be something in there that needs to burn off, it can go ahead and burn off. If after 30 minutes of runtime, that thing is still giving us carbon monoxide and a consistent reading, we're going to get another technician, and we'll have 2 techs out there to verify what we read. At that point, we will shut your system down with recommendations to either repair or replace, depending on the scenario. There could be a lot of different situations there that cause that. The only other thing I wanted to emphasize, though, is as a homeowner, property manager, anything else, we always tell everyone you're welcome to get a second opinion. And we don't disable units, we only turn them off. And why are you welcome to get a second opinion? The main thing is we're not worried you're going to die necessarily. We think you might be able to get sick by it. You may be getting poisoned by it. And we don't want the liability of it. And we're going to tell you from us, you got to go with one of our options, or you need to get another technician out from another company that's going to say it's okay to turn on because maybe his cheap 50-cent tester didn't work as good as our $1,500 tester, and it says it's okay, and he's okay with taking the liability of it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you getting the second opinion if that's what you want. I can tell you with my son, if he was in the house, I absolutely will go with a high dollar tester and I won't get a second opinion. But again, I don't mind. I would prefer, if you want to keep it, you don't have the budget, I really, really, really just want you to call someone else and get a second opinion so you take the liability off me and my company, and we're happy to transfer it to someone else. It's not an ugly thing and it's not a upset thing. It's simply my policies and my company standards are set to the highest in the industry, best standards to protect your health, not just your life, but also your health. So if you want to go lower, you're more than welcome to call someone else and get a second opinion and go with what their findings. And we're not necessarily believing you're going to die. We just want you to be healthy and happy. And that's kind of our training on carbon monoxide, where my company stands. And if you're hiring us, kind of know what you're getting. This is one of the main tests we're going to do. And those are our policies and stances on carbon monoxide. We do take it very serious. Thanks. Have a good day.